Are you a good driver? I'd like to imagine that I am, but history paints a different picture. I may have backed into a basketball pole, my foot may have gotten trigger happy, and I may have rammed into the back of another person's car at a turn light. Oops. What is one thing all of these accidents have in common? I was distracted, like a nincompoop. It's safe to say that teens aren't the best drivers, but how could we be? We are new to this whole driving thing, and we are extremely addicted to these bad boys. Distracted driving is the #1 killer of teens in America. So it's a pretty big issue, but how do we solve it? Do we need more laws, or do we just need to educate each other about the issue? Before we get into that, we must know what distracted driving is. When you engage in any activity that gets your mind off the road, you are considered to be a distracted driver. When most people think about distracted driving, they think about texting or on the phone with their mom, but this isn't always the case. Texting and talking on the phone is the most infamous cause of crashes in America, but there's other ways we could get distracted, and they could be even deadlier. So I have a question for all of you. How many of you guys are guilty of using your phone while driving? I know I am. How many of you guys text, Snapchat, FaceTime, talk on the phone, or get this, look up a new song on Spotify because you don't like the one playing at the moment? Now let's dig a little deeper. What about the distractions that we don't exactly think about? Like turning on the radio, or daydreaming, or how about this? Reaching for that crispy golden brown chicken nugget in the bag. A researcher has found that reaching for an object in your car actually increases your chance of getting into a crash by 800%. 800%! And if you just look 2 seconds away from the road, you double your risk of getting into a crash. So is that chicken nugget worth it? Some might say yeah, but if it is, pull over. Don't risk your life or anyone else's life over a chicken nugget or a text from your crush or a new song that you want to hear on Spotify. It's not worth it. Speaking of your crush, wouldn't it be better if you were alive so that you could actually hang out with them, or get distracted by reading their texts and die in a car crash? I would think so. Now let's talk about Montana, since it is the lovely state we live in. Montana is the 5th most dangerous state regarding distracted driving. That means 45 other states have better records than us. That's a lot. We are also the only state with no statewide laws restricting the use of cell phones in some sort of way. So, should we implement one? Most of you guys listening right now would probably lean towards yes out of fear, which is totally understandable. But let me give you some facts. Missoula County, Yellowstone County, and Flathead County have the most deaths due to distracted driving in Montana. This is the kicker though. Missoula has pretty strict laws against distracted driving. So does Billings in Yellowstone County, and so does Whitefish in Flathead County. So this makes me wonder, do the laws truly work? All of the people I know in Missoula go on their phones anyways, so what is the issue here? This is how I see it. Does it matter if we have laws? Does it make a difference? I would argue that it does not. Why? Because let's face it. A police officer and a highway patrolman would need x-ray vision in order to catch most cases. Sure, they may catch 1 in every 100 at a stoplight, but if it cannot be enforced in large enough numbers, it's not really effective. So, in conclusion, I think it goes without saying, if you take your eyes off the road, you risk getting into an accident or even harming someone else. Rather than letting law enforcement watch you, I think we should just do it ourselves, since it is our lives. I became a believer because a close friend of mine almost died at the age of 21 in a head-on collision near Seeley Lake, Montana. While it hasn't been proven yet, there are some thoughts that she might have been distracted with the puppy in her back seat. This beautiful 6-month-old pup did not survive. You don't want this to happen to you.